Hey, what's happening, YouTube? Today I want to go over Amazon's intellectual property policy, just so you can get a better understanding of how the policy works. And I don't want you to get your account suspended or permanently terminated. So it's really important to go over this. And even though they have a policy on their website, some people like myself, I'm usually a visual learner. So sometimes I'll go to YouTube for videos just to get some information. So going over this, the intellectual property, I just want to go over some things you can and cannot do. To read this part right here, in accordance with our content policy, Amazon cannot make, sell, distribute, or promote items that infringe the intellectual property rights, including copyrights, trademark, and publicity rights of a third party. That means you should either have obtained a license or received permission from any other third party whose intellectual property you wish to use with Merch by Amazon. This applies to not only your design for a product, but also a product's name, the product description, and the brand you select. So you can't use trademark terms or any copyright material in your brand, in your title, or your description. You cannot use that word at all. So I'm going to go down this so we can get a better understanding of what is allowed. So it says here you must have clear documented permission to use a person's name, likeness, or image in Merch by Amazon design. The permission is important if the person is a celebrity, but not necessarily for anyone. You cannot use Taylor Swift's name, picture, or likeness on Merch by Amazon design, product, brand name, keyword, or product description unless you have express documented permission from Taylor Swift. Similarly, you must have clear documented rights to use any intellectual property with Merch by Amazon. So you can't use the Seattle Seahawks. You can't use any football names. And that's a really tough subject because it is football season right now. And I know people are urging to get on the football train right now. But unfortunately, you cannot do that with Merch by Amazon. You're ultimately responsible for ensuring that you hold all necessary intellectual property rights to submit a design through Merch by Amazon. You should not assume that just because you found an image on the internet that you can use it for commercial use without permission from the owner. Works can be protected by copyright, even if they do not have a copyright notice. Do not copy someone else's work without first obtaining their permission. If you are unsure if you have owned all necessary rights to use something in a design, please consult an attorney. Now on that point, there's a lot of websites that will give out free designs. One off the top of my head right now is Pixabay. If you go here, basically what that is saying is that even though they issue these free designs here, it does not mean that all of these designs are commercial free. So you can type in pumpkin and they give you all these pumpkin shirts, and you can go to images and you can go to illustrations. And these are some items that people will probably use on their Merch by Amazon shirt. It's really good to note or just really dig in to see if it is free for commercial use. Here it does say yes, so you could use this design, but you don't want to assume that all of the designs are copy or commercial free. Works, for information about copy law in the United States or copyright law in the United States, please visit the United States Copyright Office website. I'm pretty sure it's USPTO probably. Oh, copyright.gov, which is the website. I'm pretty sure not a lot of people are going to read through all this stuff, and it costs a lot to get something trademarked or copyright. So I know a lot of people don't really go through that process. Just be safe. If you have a funny feeling about it, I like to go to two different websites. One main site is uspto.gov/trademark. After that, I'll go to, either way you want to get to tests. So you can probably just Google search TESS, and then you want to search for a basic word mark search. And then from here, you'll be able to type in a word that you have a funny feeling about. I think I could be wrong, but "you're fired" is trademarked. So once you type that in there, you go to submit query, and a lot of these say that is trademarked. I'm not the best at reading this, so I'll do my best in explaining what I know. So something like this, I'll go to "you're fired," and that term is trademarked. So it says it is trademarked for goods and services, namely promoting the interests of progressive activists. So you would not be able to use this. I know there's a lot. This is probably the same thing. "You're fired 2020. You're fired. Obama, you're fired." This is dead. So you want to see what is live right here. So a lot of these are dead, but it looks like this one is live and is active, and it looks like it's a general use for this term. Sometimes they'll specifically say, for you can't use it on boots, you can't use it on something very specific. And I think there's a way, if it says specifically you can't use it for boots or you can't use it on sunglasses, then I believe you could use it for shirts because it doesn't say for shirts. I'm not 100% right on that. Let's see something else. Well, let's keep going. So what should you do if you find another person using your intellectual property without authorization? So they do provide some websites right here. Amazon.com, you'll go to this website, which is amazon.com/report/infringement, in order to report anyone using your designs. So you go there, and then you'll be able to fill out this form. Are you the rights owner? Yes. And then you go ahead and just read through the rest of it and fill out the information. I filled out some before, and they were able to take some listings down. When I was doing Amazon FBA private label, someone did copy my images and they copied my bullet points. So I did use this website to have that taken down. So going down, why was my design rejected? I talked to an attorney and she said this is not trademark infringement. So Amazon's reason for that is they take copyright, design, and trademark infringement very seriously. At times, our policies may appear more conservative than our lawyer would advise. At times, our policies may appear more conservative than your lawyer would advise you is necessary. We do this to protect Amazon's customers, content creators, third-party brands, and Amazon itself from the repercussions of infringing content. So Amazon, is really playing the part of, we are the sole owner of what's on our website. We don't want to get in trouble from third parties claiming that we're infringing on their content. So they don't want to get in trouble for that. That's why they're very strict on what is being put on their website. So that's why they're just taking a huge conservative measures in order to make sure nothing copyright or trademark is on their website. So if you upload something and it may not even be copyright or trademarked, if it has a hint of it, they're probably going to reject it because they don't want anything to get through that is copyright or trademarked. So how do I know a design is trademarked? I checked the databases you mentioned and there's no trademark for X brand on apparel. In general, you should only submit content to which you own the rights. This means creating fresh, new content. If you choose to use trademark content, your design may be rejected. So that's kind of just reiterating what it said before. Don't use trademark content. Don't use Seattle Seahawks. Don't use Taylor Swift's name. Don't use any celebrity. I believe, let's go ahead and see if the name Trump is, let's see. So I think politicians are clear. I mean, if you go to Amazon.com, I'm pretty sure you'll see a lot of Trump shirts. So I wonder what's going on. Let's just choose live. So this one here says Trump, and this is for the word mark. So basically this image right here, you can't use that specific image. Let's go back. This one's live here. Trump, you can't use it on electronic cigarettes, vaping, vaporizers. So you can't use it on that. See, this is the part where I'm saying that it will specifically say you cannot use it on apparel. You can't use it on shirts. It would specifically say that right here. Trump card, Trump, thank you. All these different terms, and I don't see anything with Trump that says you can't use it on designs on your shirts. So that's why you see a lot of people with Trump on their shirts on Amazon.com. So the next question here is, can I use images from the internet in my design? And it's pretty much the same question that was up here somewhere, talking about, you know, if an image is online, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily commercial use free. So there's pretty much asking the same question. Can I use can I use images from the internet in my design? You're ultimately responsible for ensuring that you hold all necessary intellectual property rights to submit a design through Merch by Amazon. You should not assume that just because you found an image on the internet that you can use it for commercial use without permission from the owner. Works can be protected by copyright, even if they do not have a copyright notice, or can be protected as community designs. Do not copy someone else's work without first obtaining their permission. If you are unsure if you own all necessary rights to use elements of a design, please consult an attorney. Can I use someone else's artwork in my design? Designs with the same concept or idea are allowed. The artwork itself, however, cannot be copied without the owner's permission. Copying other content creators' original artwork without their permission is strictly prohibited. Failure to comply with this policy will result in immediate suspension or termination of your account. And then it goes on to explain what a copycat design is. So it's exact reproductions of the entirety or a significant portion of original artwork, resized, recolored, or visually adjusted reproductions of the original artwork, and designs reproduced containing distinct design elements. So that is the definition of a copycat design. If you see anyone that has a listing similar to your design, and they made minor adjustments like resize it or just change the color, that is strictly prohibited on Amazon.com. Now, going over to Etsy, it's a different story. I was reading through their terms of service about this intellectual property stuff, and like I said before, Amazon's stance is that they're the face of what's on their website. So if someone goes to them and reports them for doing copyright material, Amazon gets in trouble. Etsy, Redbubble, like all these other POD platforms, when I read the terms of service, from my understanding, is that they allow people to put that on there, but it's up to their own responsibility if they get in trouble for it. So anything they put on there, if they get caught or reported, that's on them. Etsy's just a marketplace to sell things on. I think Amazon is taking the place as something like I guess you could say Walmart. What's in their store, they take full responsibility for it, from my understanding. So that's why that's why you'll see more copyright designs on Etsy and stuff like that, as opposed to Amazon. So I just want to go over this real quick. I know there's a lot of questions about a trademark, what can be on a shirt and what cannot be on a shirt. So look, as you can see here, you cannot use celebrity names. You can't use celebrity pictures. Of course, politicians, I believe, are in the clear. And yeah, just don't copy people's designs. And if you do use something like that website I showed you, Pixabay, make sure it says free for commercial use. So that's going to be it for this video. If you have any other questions about a trademark or anything, feel free to leave comments or any questions in the comment section below. If you notice anything that I said wrong, go ahead and let me know as well, because I'd love to learn more about this. So that's going to be it for this video, and thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.